Hello Virgo, thank you for tuning into your general read. For the main part of the read, I'm going to use the Modern Spellcaster's Tarot by Melanie Marquis, illustrated by Scott Murphy. For the supportive oracle cards, I'm going to use the Angel Answers oracle cards by Doreen Virtue and Radley Valentine. Something from the bottom there, for some reason. Virgo. We're doing the face down card thing again. And stop. Which is alright. I don't know if I'm a fan of it or not, but it happens. Usually, if you haven't seen my other videos, when face down cards happen, it's either because it's a secret or it's something you're not going to know about or understand until it actually happens. So it's not going to make sense until that part comes in. So I feel like they're trying to connect this section because it seems to be the whole environment down to the ending here is all face down. So until it actually happens, I don't feel like you're going to see it coming. Now, when we go into this, you got the Justice card. I feel like you've been going through some stuff, trying to make a situation work out, trying to hold it together. And I'm really getting, like, you're feeling like the dedication and effort you've put in it's working at this point. It's working at this point. I'm not seeing it like you're looking at it, as if you've made it through the worst of it. I feel like your dedication and effort up to this point has paid off in the sense of, like, you're doing well at this point, but I feel like you've come to a spot where you're kind of like, there has to be some type of change. Because right after this in your action line is the Compromise card. It's the Angel card. And I feel like they're warning, like, I feel like you're getting to that spot where you're realizing something has to change. And they're saying you can compromise through this. It doesn't have to be a complete change, but enough to where it is releasing some stress from the situation. Because I feel like up to this point, you've been putting in a lot of dedication and effort, and it's been a bit of a rough road. But it's just, it's becoming just, it's just not meant to stay this way forever, I guess is the way to put it. It just, you're not looking at this like you want to continue in the same manner the next few years. And you're realizing that it's just not going to be any better. This is pretty much the best it's going to be with the effort you're putting in. So you're coming to that spot where you realize things have to change. I feel like the information here is saying that you can compromise and keep some of the things you like. You don't have to do a total change here. Because I feel like you might look at it like you have to do a total change. Alright, now, the Compromise, these two cards seem to be coming together, realizing, it's time for a change. The advice here is to compromise. You don't have to do a total change. Compromise would work better to your advantage. And I'm getting this with the Six of Swords with the Queen of Swords. You're letting go of some of this. I feel like as you go into this, you're thinking you have to let go of everything. They're saying you don't have to let go of everything, but when I'm seeing that Six of Swords with the Queen of Swords, I feel like you're kind of at that point where you're thinking you have to let go of everything, but they're saying compromise is going to serve you better. So I feel like that's the advice here, like compromise would serve you better. You don't have to give up everything. But with the Queen of Swords, especially with the Justice card, the way this is coming in, I feel like it's kind of like a emotionally weathered down a bit, and you're kind of probably coming to the end of your rope where you're just kind of, you need some reprieve from this. So you do have on your mind here that you're going to stand your ground, but you're partly thinking you're going to have to walk away completely. They're just saying you can compromise. You don't have to completely walk away from whatever this situation is. Or I don't even want to say walk away, even though that's kind of what the Six of Swords would be saying. Like a complete change, like walking away from what it was and going in a whole different direction. They're saying compromise. I feel like that would make you happier. Compromise would make you happier. Instead of giving in totally, because I feel like that's the other option you have here. You don't have to give in totally, you can compromise. It seems to be like over and over. Like, is there something I'm missing with that? The other person or the other side does not want to compromise. So if you don't go forward, like they're saying, start off with a compromise. Start off with a compromise, because the other side's not going to want to. But this can be better to your liking. A compromise is more fair. Go for a compromise. Start with a compromise, because it'll work to your benefit. Okay, I feel like the energy's backing up. I feel like that's what they're trying to say there. Like, the advice is go for the compromise. If you don't, the other side's not going to go for it either. They're just going to go for the change, because I feel like the complete change works better to the other side's advantage, but that's not really, it doesn't seem like that's the fair way for that to work out. I'm getting here, though, that the things, no matter what way you do it, like, relations with you and whoever else you're dealing with, be it work, family, friend, whatever it might be, whoever you're dealing with in this situation, I feel like compromise, of course, is better, but even if it's the change, emotionally, people are doing a lot better. Emotionally, you're better, they're better. It seems like a lot of, I just feel like it was really getting very labored. I don't really know if it was really tense, but it feels like it was just labored, if that makes a difference. Like, I just feel like it was just wearing you down, going on for too long. I'm not feeling like there was hostilities here. I just feel like it was just, it needed to change. And the change, however that worked out, does seem to have worked. Because both sides, you and them, seem to be doing really well. The Lover's card here, that's, to me, that's achieving the goal, making the grade, like successfully passing a test. That's kind of what I get from this. Good? Good. Now, this is the last card that's face up before we go through the rest of this. Perfect timing. Like, everything works out the way it should. Like, I feel like after this moment where everybody's happy again, I feel like everything just seems to fit in place a lot better. It just seems like when you look back on it, like, everything you achieved up to this point was good, and you needed everything there. And letting it go when you did, or doing the change, the compromise, hopefully, because I'm thinking that's what we're trying to push here. Hopefully you went with the compromise. This was the best time for that to happen, because you've accumulated a lot of assets from the past, however that worked out. Things really went to your favor. Now it's time to move on, and it seems to be coming just at the right time. And I feel like all parties, you included, of course, are feeling that way. Like, you know what? The way it worked out actually benefited everybody. It held on as long as it could, but it was time to change. But there's a lot of good things that came from that situation. Okay, now here's where we got the face down cards. Your final card, after perfect timing, Queen of Cups, which to me is an extension of the Lovers, and they're saying no. I feel like you're still happy going forward. I'm hoping you went for that compromise. I really do. I'm feeling this is face down. Is this you? Is this the Virgo? I'm getting, is this the other side? Somebody else is a part of this. Now hold on, this isn't the other side. It's partly you and somebody else. There's like a third party involved here. This seems like this is third party. So you worked out the situation. It all seems to be working out. Somebody else is benefiting from this change, but they're not in the direct line of fire, if I want to put it that way. Like, you're dealing with the situation, you're keeping it going. There's somebody else that you're working out the change with. But then there's a third party that's kind of like a sideline player, not really making the decisions. That person, like, this is making somebody else happy on the outside. And I feel like after this is all said and done, there's another positive outcome or result of this action here. This change is really serving things even like beyond the situation itself. I'm going to flip these cards. Now, what we have on this other side here, this is stuff this is all like the sideline. This is going on at the same time. You making this decision seems to be affecting this other situation in your life. All right, so all that we talked about in the beginning, that's its own situation. This other side here is going alongside it and is affected by the outcome of that situation. Because I feel like there's other people trying to weigh out situations, and they need you for it. This might be also weighing on you, but this I'm not thinking so, because this was face down. So you got the High Priestess face down, at that same time the Justice card is going on for you. Other people are holding things together. There's other things going on around you, and I feel like at this time you're not aware of it. Other things need your attention that you don't know of. This is interesting. I hope this comes across right, because this seems quite complicated. There's a strong love for... there's a person here that goes about things very logically, but with a very big heart. This person seems to just go forward. This can be male or female, but I'm getting like the reason they have the King of Cups here is because it's kind of like the plan is set, and this person feels like that's what's best for everybody. This person has created this plan out of love and is going through, and like I feel like they're keeping things from you. So there's things going on. People are taking care of things around you. Something's going on around you that you're not hearing about, that does affect you, but you don't know about it at this point. And I feel like there's a person, it could be male or female, don't get caught up in the gender of the card, but somebody has like put down the rules, like don't involve the Virgo, which would be you. I'm just going to use that. Don't involve Virgo, because the Virgo has enough going on. There's too much stress on the Virgo. Back off from the Virgo, and we're going to handle this. And I'm going to tell you what to do. We're going to keep this together, so it'll be fine. And I feel like this is kind of like the good with the bad. I feel like they're very well aware that this isn't the best idea, in the sense of like they don't really want to hold secrets from you, but they feel like it's for a good reason. So that's why they got the High Priestess with this King of Cups. Like they feel like this is the best outcome. Like stressing you out more is worse for you, and they're just like making it like there's only so much that can be done now anyway. So they're kind of holding it from you and taking care of it on the side without you really knowing. Once this situation you have going on figures out, though, that main situation, that's when reconsider comes in the line of the King here and the High Priestess. Reconsider in the sense like things calm down in that main issue, and that's when, well, the Queen of Cups is then, is more apparent. This has been going on the whole time. This is why this card came in face down and then is face up when we are ready to read it, because you're not going to know this until after, and you're going to hear about everything that's been going on this whole time, and I feel like after the fact, you're going to get filled in on all the missing pieces, and there's an empty space up here, because it's up to you how you take it. I feel like the big point here is, it was done out of love. The people involved in this other side situation just felt like you were already overtaxed as it is. Needed a break, needed to have a little bit of reprieve. I feel like there's a very strong sense of concern around you. People very much care about you greatly. And it was it was done in consideration of you. I'm kind of wondering if you're going to feel that way, though, because I don't feel like you're going to like the fact that it's holding secrets back. But when you realize what's going on here, because there's a side situation happening, it comes forth with love. And I feel like there's a loving attitude comes forward, somebody really considering your feelings, apologizing for holding it back so long. I feel like they're very careful how they tell you this, whoever this is, whatever's going on. And there's a lot of love coming towards you. And I feel like the whole point here is that it was done in consideration of you, not in consideration without you, if that makes sense. Like the reason it happened the way it did because the people involved thought it would be better for you. Even though I don't think you're gonna like it, I really don't think you're gonna like it. That's the reasoning behind it. Good. I feel like this was a complicated reading. I have to be honest with you, only because there's just the main issue happening. Once you solve that, and that's kind of come to a place where it's more settled and calm, that's when this other sideline that's been happening the whole time that you weren't aware of comes forward, and I feel like they're telling you what's been going on the whole time, and I don't feel like you really like that. But if you're able to get to that spot where you realize why, I still don't think you're gonna like it, but I feel like you'll understand and you'll feel the love coming towards you. I also feel like you might be pushing forward, like, don't do that again. Like, I can handle it. I'd rather know. I'll handle the stress. That's okay. But I feel like that's the whole point of this reading, to realize there's a very strong love feel in this sideline that you're not feeling until later, until they bring it forward. That's why. It's balancing the good with the bad. I feel like these people love you. Whoever it is loves you greatly, and just is like, you know what, you're overtaxed enough as it is. I know you're not, they know you're not going to like it. They're very well aware of that, but they just feel like it's better for your mental state. You need a break. You need a reprieve. And they're just feeling like it's just cruel to push more on you at this point. Again, I'm not thinking you're going to agree with that, but that's what's coming from this way. We good? We're good. All right. I'm going to wrap that up there. Thank you for watching. Of course, if you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, james4astral@gmail.com. James, the number 4, astral@gmail.com. Thank you.